Okay, so hi guys, here we are, day 4, trading forex till we become profitable, and today we have very good news. Let's first appreciate the consistency. 4 days in, we keep on going.
Nice.
Today we have really good news. It was a profitable trade, beat the other trades by a huge margin. Okay, today I raked in over $60, 62 to 63 thereabout, and I'll get into it, show you guys how I did it, how I predicted it, and honestly I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. And later on in this video I'll also be sharing my intent on which strategy I'll be using more often, or maybe even the only strategy I'll be using from now on, because I want to perfect it and master it. Okay, so let's dive into it and let's see how today's trade went. So yeah, here we are at our XNS page, and we traded gold, as you can see. Okay, we traded gold. Now, the strategy I used, which I've honestly found to be quite accurate and quite easy to predict, and you know, it has a huge success rate, is the breakout strategy. And the time which I'm using this strategy is usually when two major sessions overlap each other. Okay, so as I was saying, the main sessions which I trade this is when the Tokyo session and the London session overlaps, that is between 10 a.m. and 11 p.m. East African time, that 1 hour, and within those 2 hours, we are most likely to find a trade in those first 2 hours, which will guide you for the rest of the trades that you'd like to take for the rest of the day. And the other session is when the London session overlaps with the New York session, that is between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. Okay, the reason is, let's take for example the Tokyo session and the London session overlap. The GBP is the most traded currency when the London session is opened, and when the Tokyo session is open and the London session is closed, there is low volatility or price action in the Tokyo session of the GBP pairs. Okay, so what happens is the movement is sort of consolidates between 1 point, because of there are not that much orders to trade. And when the London session opens, the orders come through. Okay, and what I'd like to do is draw the highs and the lows, and then wait for a breakout between those first 2 hours, and you find our trade there. The same thing happens to the US dollar, while you are trading in the overlap between the New York session and the London session. So in the London session, there is not much movement in, let's say for example, GBP USD or gold in that case, and gold USD. There's not that much price action. But when the New York session opens, between those overlap hours, the GBP USD has more volatility, it has more volume in its candles, it has, more price action, and same to gold. So yeah, I'll do a video on how I'd like to, write down my strategy and be using it from now on consistently. Okay, and every time until I master it. Now back to our chart here. It's gold versus US dollar. As you can see, this is the price action of the last week or so. Yeah, last week, since I tried this trade, the price was somewhere around here. And you can see it sort of formed an uptrend right here. You remember in the last session I showed you where there were supply zones and demand zones, and just as I said in the last session, okay, this area here acted as a supply zone. Okay, and it supplied all these sell orders, okay, and supply zones later on become demand zones. And you can see from where that supply zone is, that whole area later became a demand zone. On this side it was a supply zone, and on this side it was a demand zone. Now throughout this demand zone there was a consolidation. As you can see right here, there was this consolidation in the 4-hour time frame of gold. Now what I went and did is marked out the highs of this consolidation and the lows, and the strategy is simple: wait for the overlap for the New York session to open. So there was not much price action in gold, neither was there much price action in the GBP USD pair, okay. And so you are guaranteed that sooner or later, one of these days, through this consolidation, when the price break out of the consolidation zone, there was going to be a good trade that was coming our way, and today was finally the day. So this candle right here, as you can see, closed right above the high of the consolidation zone, and what we're likely to see is a pullback to retest the resistance of the consolidation zone, which is this line right here, the high, and then a push back up. Now what I've noticed is mostly on larger time frames you'll have to wait for a huge pullback, let's say from where the price is right now, pulls back and then continues trading up. But now when you scale down to small time frames, this is why there is emphasis on using small time frames for entries, okay. In the 1 hour time frame, you can see that in the 4 hour time frame you saw that the candle which broke out of the consolidation zone closed way above here on top, like right around there. But in the 1 hour time frame, the candlestick which closed above the consolidation zone closed just immediately above the line, okay. And going further down to a much smaller time frame, which is even the 15 minutes doesn't show it quite clearly, which is the 5 minutes time frame, you can see what I mean by a retracement or a pullback. Now you don't want to be the first person who places the trade once the candle just closes above the consolidation zone, because one, most likely you'll be used as a liquidity sweep, okay. Now here's how it went in the 5 minutes time frame. You can see right here. Let me map it out for you real quick. Price closed right above here, above the consolidation zone, reached a certain point, which is here, and pulled back. When you go to small time frames, these weeks they're actually in form of candles. So the lowest point during the retracement where the price reached is at this candle, but the candles closed right around here and then continued moving upwards, okay. That's what we have. Always wait for the retracement, okay. Always wait for the retracement. At least that is what I have learned through the course of this trading journey. Now once the retracement is done, you can look for an entry once it starts moving back up into the uptrend, okay. So for me, I had placed my stop loss right around here, entered the trade right after this candlestick, and traded all the way up. Now this was a $60 profit trade, and I'm very happy for it. It really went my way, and I'm glad that I'm starting to get a hang of it, that now I can easily notice when a trade is going to happen, and I'm about to exploit it. Honestly, I'm about to exploit it and dive deep into perfecting this strategy. Now I don't have yeah, that was the trade. I'm done with explaining the trade, by the way. That was today's trade. We were at, what was it, $146. Now we are $209 USD dollars. Let's go, let's get it. Woo!
Nasikia jo, yani nimebambika nika nimezaliwa tena.
You know, where's Quavo when you need him? Congratulations.
I was patient. Now I can scream that we made it. Now everywhere I go, they say congratulations.
Okay, let me stop being weird.
Say ooh. Say ooh.
Okay, so about the strategy. So my strategy is quite simple. I'm planning on using this breakout strategy. It serves me quite well, and I think it's the perfect strategy for me to wait, simply because it has a huge success rate. Okay, and once you time it correctly and follow it to the core, I'm sure everything will align and you'll have your winning trade. Now, I haven't written it down, but I know how the strategy works. So what I'm going to do for now, by the next trade, which is tomorrow, I'm going to have written it down into a systematic manner, and I'll present it to you tomorrow in order so that you can also test it out and, you know, see whether it's a good strategy. And that is the strategy which I'm going to be using until I master it. It's a very, very good strategy. I love it. Nice. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. One book that helped me learn about this strategy is this book right here, The London Forex Rush System. Okay, this book right here is a wonderful book to learn with this strategy. Now, in this book, it only talks about the London section overlapping with the Tokyo session, but honestly, you can apply this strategy even in the overlap between the London session and the New York session. Okay, it's not that much of a difference as long as you master it properly. Promise you, the results will be good. Yeah, and now that I've started to get a hang of it, I want to write it down clearly in a systematic manner that I'll follow, and then we'll be able to before each trade we'll be checking out the checklist on this strategy, and then we trade in order to have a more accurate wins and more accurate trades on this journey of mine. So yeah, that was it for today. Stay fresh, and remember, consistency is key. That is what we're trying to build right now. Consistency and discipline. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. I'm very excited for the journey ahead. Let's go. Peace.